Hi everyone, it's very exciting watching the charts today, and we are very excited to welcome you to the 16th installment of the Bybit Web3 Livestreams, titled GameFi Season, Is It Game or Fi? Welcome everyone to our very exciting day for today. So on this live stream, let me just dive in and welcome all our guests. First and foremost, co-founder of Nifty Island, Charles. Hello, Charles. Are you on mute?
Hey, MK. Great to be here.
Hello. And BD of Elfin Metaverse, we have Nick with us today.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing?
Good. And CMO of Sonic, Kinsa.
Good to see you all here.
Hello, everyone. And head of product of Super Champs, Ganesh.
Hey, hello everyone. Good to be here today.
Good to have you too. And last but not least, CEO of Exterior, Michael.
Hey, hello everyone. How are you?
Okay, quick intro, but welcome everyone. So this is actually very exciting for Bybit Web3. We are hosting, I guess this year, one of the hottest events for us is GameFi season at Bybit Web3, and also coincidentally is our 6th-year anniversary for Bybit. And since we always call ourselves the crypto arc, we turned the crypto arc into a crypto arcade. So these are all, and we have more other protocols as well joining us for this campaign, which we will talk a little bit more about later. But of course, I think the thing that we are observing right now is that with the bull run, fingers crossed, happening, we know that GameFi typically also will have a bull run. So today we are here to actually have an in-depth discussion about which tracks, we think, which bulls are we going to put our bets on. So now, before we dive into the discussion, a quick reminder, for our live stream giveaway today, we are giving away 500 USDT. So ask the questions in the chat below, as well as also there's probably a form for you to fill up. Yeah. And also encourage your friends to join in, and we can bump up the live chat to pump up the views and the prize pool to be given away as well. Okay, so I thought we could go around and have everyone kind of introduce a little bit to all our audiences here. What you do, what your project is doing in the very exciting, meaty universe of GameFi. So maybe we can start with Charles from Nifty Island.
Yeah, great to be here. So I work on Nifty Island. We are Web3's leading 3D UGC game world. So if you think of categories like Roblox or Fortnite, or within crypto, Decentraland, or Sandbox, we are the most active game world that users are building together. So in Nifty, you can build your own island for free. You can deploy your own games on that island. You can challenge people to compete for on-chain prizes there. And you can enjoy playing as avatars that correspond to one of over 400 meme coin, AI, NFT projects that we have integrated into Nifty. So essentially what we're trying to do is to build like a crazy big open game world that leverages crypto to be way more engaging, more fun to create, more fun to build on top of, and more fun to trade around ultimately too. So that's the goal. We look at platforms like Roblox and say, can we make these like far more vibrant, far more active and interesting by putting in on-chain prizes, on-chain property rights, so that people can create amazing things and engage with it. So if you're part of any Web3 community, we recommend you check it out and jump in, and you can bring your community there, play as avatars that correspond to it, and kind of build up their presence in this game world. So we have shooter games, we have games like Spy Hunt that are kind of like an Among Us style game. We have time trials and more. So it's pretty vibrant and fun game world, and over time we think it will just get better and better. So good to be here.
Nice. Thank you for the introduction. And moving on to Elfin Metaverse, Nick.
Hi guys. Yeah, Elfin Metaverse is like a GameFi emulator focused on the esports, and we are invested by Binance Labs. We are a comprehensive esport platform designed to reach niche markets that traditional IPs or industries often overlook. And by using gaming as an immersive way to engage and builds connections and fosters communities in untapped areas. And also, players can enjoy our games within like play to earn model, earning like the extra rewards through our leaderboards, and also a lot of the features, and also the special events as well. And we built it in like a multi-change. We are like a multi-change project and currently deploy on OPBNB, Meta Network, Town Ecosystem, Kaya, and upcoming we are integrating more, and more than 3 million PVE and PvP games already played by our players. We collaborate with multiple projects. For example, Bonk, Meta Network, C98, Galaxy, Meth Wallet, and etc. And we will collaborate more together with the Web2 game studios, and then to co-develop Alpha Metaverse, and then helping them, assisting them to enter the Web3 world, and then execute their game project from like a Web3 perspective, and also integrating their user base into our ecosystem. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for the intro. And moving to Sonic, Kinsa, over to you.
Hi. Yeah, great to see everyone here. This is Kinsa, CMO of Sonic. To briefly intro Sonic, we are the first SVM to launch on top of Solana. Can be described as an L2 chain extension, kind of up to you. That said, we are focusing on GameFi and gaming ecosystem, as that's where the team has been focusing on past 2-3 years. Initially started with investment from FTX, Republic Crypto, Galaxy, and developed and evolved a lot over the years. That said, right now our testnet is live with over a few million users interacting with our testnet, our mainnet, and TG will happen eventually. So stay tuned for that. That said, we are excited to support all sorts of different games, from gambling, casinos, to fully on-chain games, to like horse racing games, etc. But I'm super excited about our latest initiative for TikTok app layer. We are, we build our own games internally as well. And our latest game is a very simple tap to earn game that we've been distributing through TikTok. As TikTok is the hot narrative right now. And we've onboarded new users, non-Web3 native users, over 1 million right now. So super excited for this initiative, and we'll be doubling down and developing on this exciting strategy. Happy to share more over this panel talk. Oh, and lastly, we are doing the Bybit campaign as well. So check out some of our games. Do testnet transactions on our platform.
Good steal there. Yes. And over to Exterior, Michael.
Hi, thanks. Nice meeting everyone. I'm Michael, and Exterior is the top gaming L2 chain on ETH and BNB right now. We have over 70 different kind of games is on our platform, and about 8 million users registered. We have over 100 million transactions already. We are at the same time a very close partner with Optimism. Both of our chains are using the OP stack, and we also use the super chain in Optimism. And we also the first gaming AVS on EigenLayer with over 100 ETH restaked right now. I think one of the different things that we do is, or two of the different things that we are very special is all of our team member have years and like close to 20 years of experience on each of them in making games. So some of the games we made it in-house, like 5 of the games that we're making in-house. One of the game is called Age of Dino, which we work with a very, very famous strategy game company that's with us before, where we worked before, and the game is already launched. And indeed, this game has a very cool events that is working with Bybit wallet at the same time, and our audience can always go to search out the event. It's very interesting, and the game is very interesting as well, of course. And another different thing that is we differentiate ourselves is we also use a lot of AI technology in our games. One of the games that we called is Paleo, is a pet collection game. And this game, we use a lot of AI technology. We train our graphical AI model to have a very consistent art style in in getting the NFTs. There were more than 400,000 people or users who received and paid for the NFTs actually for a very low cost back in April. And the game is going to come out in January. We raised quite a bit of money, as we have raised over 55 million. Binance Labs is also our investors. And together with a lot of very famous investors from Web2 funds, like the Makers Funds, the DST, and also from Fund Plus as well. So that's us, right?
A very warm welcome. Thank you. And just to riff off what Kinsa was saying as well. So all these projects you've heard here are part of our GameFi season over at Crypto Arcade. We also actually have a few more projects that are actually not with us today. We have Catizen, Legend of Arcadia, Low Life Forms, and G7 DAO as well, right? So all of these are from different protocols, from different chains, different protocols, and we've shortlisted really the trending ones. As you can see here, so many different genres to really try out, and we really want to onboard more Web2 users as well. And yeah, for Bybit Web3, we really think that GameFi is really hitting its summer, if not already, but really real soon. And this curation really represents the kind of diversity and the amount of work that's really gone into building, right? So very excited for this. So I think this is really timely then for us to have a discussion, because we always feel like now the BTC has hit and is still hitting ETH, and ETH is also taking off now. I guess the question to everybody here now is, when do you think GameFi will take off? Does anyone want to take the question, please? Has it already taken off, or is it like 2025, early 2025? Maybe Charles, do you want to go first?
Yeah. No, I think we're fairly close. So my view is that at this point we've had this kind of massive meme coin run up, and then we're also seeing the beginnings of an AI boom as well. And these narratives, to me, when you take them together, look a lot like what we saw in 2021 with the kind of NFT run. You have these on-chain communities that are getting really active, grabbing a ton of mind share, and then naturally people wonder, what can I do with these assets? Like, is there more here? People, as that kind of mania settles out, people look for utility. They look for ways of differentiating their meme coin community. And I think that plus the AI trend, it feels like we're just a short jump away from some form of gaming run. I tend to think that there could be a revival of kind of like a gaming or like metaverse angle. And we could see that, I think, around Q1. I think is fairly likely. It depends what people ship, so we all have to work and put things out there. But I think maybe late Q1. That'd be my guess.
Anybody on board, or anybody has a different opinion?
Yeah, I think the GameFi and Bull definitely always go hand in hand. And GameFi always has esports in the bull run, in my opinion. But I think there's like a very interesting things to maybe discuss with all the panels. As we can see, recent highlights was all about the memes and designs, and but I do think GameFi can pick up the momentum in a short time, and it's not just about when the market moves up, it's about when GameFi's proof is here to stay. Yeah.
Nice. To be fair, I think esports already is having a bit of a bull run, right? With the recent win by Faker and the team. So that's one definitely for Alvin. And yes.
Yeah, happy to share my thoughts here too. Just to chime in, I think GameFi on my end, I think it has a very wide definition. Web3 gaming, I think, still isn't fit into a specific bucket in terms of what types of games that are out there. There can be, there's a lot of like gambling types of applications that can be considered gaming. I think like tap to earn has been a recent trend this year that has gained a lot of traction, especially on Telegram apps. And I think personally, I think trading is also a game, just in the form of PvP. Pump.fun is a very fun game. It can be considered a game that's been very lucrative on Solana, generating millions in profit every day. So as the definition varies quite a bit, I think it's really about what is going to be the trend in coming quarter, what is going to be the trend in 2025 that gets users' attention. I think the power of crypto and Web3 is in distribution and network effects, and enabling that with cryptocurrency rewards, NFTs, and making community. So we at Sonic, we're just trying to provide all the tools necessary and create a hub of sticky network of users and community that can come back and play different types of that's going to be coming out of our ecosystem.
So when are you going to call the bull run for GameFi?
It's already here. Look at Pump.fun.
Yeah,
but a few months ago it was like Notcoin, just tap to earn. A few months before that, gambling platforms were going crazy. I think Shuffle was a big one. There's a couple others, but I think we just want to promote the next bull run and enable that happening on our platform.
Yeah. To be fair as well, I know that from an exchange standpoint, right? When Bybit Web3, we just launched our own tap to earn kind of game, and we definitely saw an interest in that it was booming, and for us to also come in to offer that to our communities as well, like a different way for them to engage, right, in crypto. So yeah. Any other POVs or projections?
Yeah, I think I don't know how to sorry, this me, and I don't know how to forecast the exact time, right? But I think there is another part of the narrative, or part of the story that we're telling about, is how we are going to onboard Web2 players onto Web3. And I think that is a very important part of the Web3 or GameFi whole ecosystem, right? And I think gamers is still like one of the biggest population in the world right now, and it's the closest of how we can onboard non-Web3 users into Web3. I mean, besides DeFi, obviously. And I think that's really a thing that we are doing, a lot of us are doing right now. I think there were some other successful cases, but maybe they just are tapping on the tip of the ice right now, and then whoever will be able to really onboard like millions of players from non-Web3 users into Web3, then I think that's really one of the possibility of where GameFi become like there's a bull run. And this is something that we also work very hard on, and I see some of our friends here also working very hard on as well. That's one. And then another thing is how AI is going to be integrated with games as well. And AI has always been a very important narrative or story, not just in World 3, but basically everywhere in this world. And obviously, and I would say game is also a very closest, but besides like education or other maybe that biotech or so, game is also one of the area that can utilize AI very, very well. At the end of the day, NVIDIA starts from making game cards, right? So I think it's very, very close. So I think AI and also onboarding Web2 to Web3 is the two things that will make it very different, and that will help in the bull run as well.
Very nice. Thank you, Michael. And also, forgive my manners, guys. So I actually want to introduce properly top blockchain game on Base, an actual game project with us today. We have Super Champs HQ. Ganesh, please actually take the time to introduce the audience about yourself and the project.
Sure. I work with the Super Champs team on the product side. Super Champs is we're building a universe. It's a universe of games combined with the new age media content. We have raised close to $30 million from leading Web3 investors, including Binance, OKX, Bybit, many of them who you all already know. So at Super Champs right now, we have two fun games. One is Bullet League. Think about it like if Fortnite was a platformer, then it would be Bullet League. We also have Racket Rampage. This is an action RPG tennis game with our own twist on the traditional tennis mechanics. Imagine if you are playing tennis with a frying pan. How would that be? That is Racket Rampage for you. We also recently released a Telegram bot for Super Champs HQ, our questing platform. Along with it, there are two mini games as well. It doesn't stop there. Like I said, we are a universe with new age media content. We have our lead character, Kigu. He has his own channel with 600K plus subscribers. As Michael rightly pointed out, our effort also has been to onboard Web2 users to Web3. Both of these games put together have close to 5 million downloads. They are live on App Store and Play Store. Our aim has been to create a universe which has the ground rules like Marvel and build a blockchain ecosystem around it, which will also help the community build the universe along with us. And to answer your question about when the bull run will be, I personally think the bull run would have started by now, if not for the extraordinary attention which is there on meme coins. Gradually, I think meme coins are also going to become part of the GameFi, if I can put it that way. Finding utility for meme coins is something which many of the projects are trying to do. And with GameFi tokens already having utility designed around them, I expect gradually as the retail interest increases, maybe in Q1 is when we can expect the bull run to start. Jan, Feb is what I think.
Very nice. Thank you, Ganesh. And I guess for everybody online right now, as you can hear, it's either already, we are in the thick of it, or it's already going to happen soon. So if you haven't already, please register and sign up for your Bybit Web3 wallet. Come join the GameFi season. Many, many exciting opportunities await. Not financial advice. Do your due diligence. Great. And I guess on the back of this point, then, if and when, and now that the GameFi bull has taken off, I guess we are curious to hear which protocol or ecosystem does everyone here think will lead this time round? Pretty loaded question, I feel, but yeah. Any takers?
Sonic. Simple answer. That's, no comment.
Anyone taking this Kinsa side or any other challenges? Like I definitely saw, for GameFi season, definitely we have many different protocols and chains here as well.
This is really like a hot debate, Every ecosystem has its unique strengths, right? And for example, Solana has been making headlines, which is fast, low-cost transactions. And Base was backed by Coinbase, has like a huge potential to bridge Web2 and Web3 users, I would say. And then there's OPBNB, which is building with a focus on the scalabilities and also affordability, which is like a huge factor for GameFi. And for me, I think here's the thing: ecosystem alone, they don't lead. and it's all about the project that build on them. For example, if somehow like a new innovative like GameFi projects launch on Base, for example, it could be pulled ahead. Same goes for other chains like Solana and Airbnb. But for me, right, which I really don't know how to answer this. But for me, it's Base, and I'll be ready to be surprised. And we also thinking of integrating on Base as well.
Appreciate that, Peter, for our audiences.
Click on that one. we are on Base, and we believe Base is going to be really big when the bull run starts, because as you may have noticed, there is kind of a cult which is being built around Base, like how Solana was some time back. Our experience on Base has been really good, and being the leading game app on Base, we think it is going to be the one to watch out for in the next bull run.
Yeah, I think Base has Base has had really good network effects, especially with the power of a Coinbase team that's been supporting them as well. I think network effect is a really important thing, and Solana has been one of the leading chains in this way. And as Sonic being the gaming hub on our end, we're excited to enable this and on top of Solana for games building on our ecosystem. But as Michael said, I think bringing Web2 to Web3 is going to be really important. And we're doing this through TikTok app layer initiative, with where we're building TikTok native games and launching it through different strategies there. But chain abstraction and onboarding Web2 users to Web3, as much as that is important, I think another chain that is going to lead this is Abstract. They've been really focusing on chain abstraction, and Saigar, who's the CTO there, he's been talking a lot about them building their own wallet from scratch, from ground up, to make this seamless as possible. And with that in combination with their retail engagement strategy, supported by Pudgy Penguin, I think it's going to have pretty powerful network effect. So really looking forward to that coming live, I think in January or so.
Very nice. Any other takes on this question?
I'll throw out some ideas. I think Base and Solana are both great candidates for this, definitely, just because they have so much usage in general. My feeling on the sort of anything that's kind of like app driven, if we're wondering, where will SocialFi live or where will GameFi live, it really only takes one great application to put a chain on the map. So if we think of Ronin, like most active gaming chain, arguably, really just Axie alone created this massive amount of gravity and usage around their ecosystem. Similarly, if you had something like FriendTech for SocialFi, that puts Base on the map for SocialFi, and suddenly most of the activity was there. So I think either Base or Solana are a good bet, but it's going to ultimately be dictated by where does a killer application get released, and that people will just go there wherever the most popular application is. And I think we're still waiting to see that with gaming. There's a couple success cases, but it'll be just where does that great game happen to deploy, and then users will probably just bridge and flock there.
Exactly. Any points from Michael?
I think at the end of the day, is a combination of three things, right? Where the users are, where the technology is, or where the good content is. And so for us, I think I kind of more inclined to if we have the best content, and we have a very good game, maybe sometimes just even one game will make a very big difference in terms of the technology or where the users are, because this is still in the early days, and I really see I really see that content might be a bit more important. I mean, I'm not saying obviously that users or technology are not important, but content seems to be a little bit more important from our experience, like just we mentioned like XC and so on, right? And if there were no Callison in Tone, then Tone might not be as popular before, and so I still look at the content is probably a bit more important.
Oh, very interesting. Because exactly after this question, and I think riffing off what Michael as well as Charles are saying, is that what could be that killer app, right, that would drive adoption? It does. I mean, I do recognize that there is the ecosystem, there is that chain, but it does sound like what the user looking for is very user centric, right? What is that app? What is that game that we're looking at? So actually, we have two camps here for picking, or feel free to go beyond, which is that do we think that what the Telegram recent PG game boom and bots has helped, or are we still in a camp of like the OGs, right? GameFi, which is like Axie Infinity or Stephen. What do we think is the game or the utility that will drive the next wave of GameFi boom? Sonic. but what else? What else would, well, not to just like Kinster, I'm just curious what you think.
Yeah. I guess one thing I'm excited about this cycle is more friendly regulation. With like so far one of the biggest hurdles I've seen that is that the distribution part is quite difficult, where major game platforms or application platforms don't natively support Web3 applications, and they have to jump through many hoops and hurdles to get their application out there. Steam doesn't really support Web3 games, stuff like that. Apple App Store, of course. But I think with Trump being elected and Web3 regulation kind of becoming more clear, hopefully, crossing fingers, we're going to see a lot more distribution that becomes available for games, and this might be like the next bull run. But most recently, Off the Grid just launched. It's on Avalanche, Subnet, and they are available on PS5, multiple consoles, and that's been getting a lot of like Web2 native traction as AAA kind of shooter game. So, and I think they've shown really strong numbers with millions of players playing on. I think it's either alpha or the beta, getting a lot of traction there. But I can foresee a few more of those coming up in next bull run. And just to add on to that, I guess I'm currently calling out of Korea, doing AMA out of Korea, and it's a big gaming ecosystem here. But major hurdle is that the game, there's no Web3 game publishing that's allowed at the moment. No pay to, no games where you can earn crypto. But we're foreseeing this regulation to update very soon as well. So yeah, I'm excited for this new change in the traditional Web2 gaming environment that would enable a new set of like Web3 gaming to get wider adoption. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice, thank you. And maybe to Ganesh, what do you think would be the type of games that will take off this GameFi bull run?
Right. If you look at how a traditional Web2 free-to-play market evolved when games started being developed for iPhone and Android, and even basically the free-to-play market, it started off with simple, easy-to-access games, and then gradually it started getting deeper, right? I think the same evolution is what we will go through in Web3 as well. If you take a look at previous bull run, I don't think there were like handful of games which were playable and had deep meta which players engaged. But that has changed in last couple of years. Games which are coming out now are playable and has enough and more content to engage users. But if we have to onboard and get scale for Web3, I think easy to access games on Telegram, which are coming up on Telegram, is definitely one option. But that said, you cannot only build for the initial scale which you want, right? For you to get that long-term retention, you definitely want to have mechanics which will keep users engaged, not just for the financial element, but also for the entertainment aspects of it. So I believe uh, the small, simple mini games is good to onboard larger user base. But as the industry evolves, there will be need for games like Off the Grid uh, and more such deeper meta games to be there for it to improve.
Got it. That's a very insightful take and a history lesson for all of us who are new to this category as well. Thank you, Ganesh. And I'm curious to hear from maybe Nick.
Yeah, I think history has already proven that play to earn mechanics, right? It could and it can attract massive audience, and it's really important play to earn. And on the other side, we see recent months the explosion of the mini games on platform like Telegram. You know, these kind of like mechanics are awesome because they are quick and easy to jump into, and that's how you can engage more massive or wider audience. And also, Alfin did like a mini games for way longer before this, because that time we believe that based on the statistics and data, and also the feedbacks surveys from the internet, people are shifting more modern, so-called modern gamer lifestyle, which is low commitments and high accessibilities, and they can instantly play the games. So I think this bull run might belong to like a new wave, and people are looking for more fun, quick, over like a complicated game mechanism, I would say. And we always need to alert and adapt to market needs as well, because the audience play like the gamers play like a very important role, and then adaptation is very important, and this is how we can always stay and keep relevant as long as we can. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Nick. And Charles, what's your hot take?
Yeah, for me, I think we've seen sort of two big, like generally two big types of bets. We've seen sort of play to earn, and whether I think that, to me, I'm somewhat skeptical that it will lead the next big wave. I think that it's worked for bootstrapping games, like whether it's like click to earn, tap to earn, play to earn, step to earn. They all kind of work to bootstrap, but very few of them have proven that they can hold people after the airdrop. And I think there's maybe some markets like a little more skeptical of that narrative than it used to be. So kind of, I think that's been an interesting innovation to bootstrap. It hasn't solved the problem of how you get people to stick around in a sustainable way. And then you have the sort of like more AAA kind of, I'd almost consider it a Trojan horse bet, where with like Off the Grid, where you hide the NFTs, you present like a quality product. I think they've done a great job with that. I'm kind of expect the success rate will be fairly low, just because they don't have necessarily an edge on traditional games because they're using crypto. They're kind of downplaying the crypto and competing directly with some of the biggest publishers out there. So they'll have, I think maybe there'll be another breakout like that, but its success rate's kind of low. The thing that interests me most are games with like interesting markets, on-chain mechanics. You might I like what we're doing. I like to say something like Pirate Nation or Parallel. People kind of building these like intense cultish communities that are trying to build something really new and different that you can't get anywhere else. So I'm kind of optimistic that we'll see, in say it's Q1, say it's early Q2, a couple games with really interesting market dynamics and new on-chain mechanisms connect, and hopefully we'll have some new buzzwords altogether that we're not even thinking about today.
Nice. It'll be very interesting to look back like 1 quarter from now and see where GameFi has really gotten. And my takeaways from this is I'm hearing that very similar or mirroring how Web2 game adoption happen. I think we need simpler mechanics first, just to onboard people, right? I guess getting into Web3 is not that easy for the lay person already. So that's the thing I'm hearing. But I'm also hearing that we will see a maturing of this trend where there will be more complex, more detailed, more niche, more unique stories and worlds that will evolve, right, and come into space as well. And that's where people can go even deeper into to this space. Very interesting. So, I mean, we have been really dancing around this topic a little bit, but the headline of this live stream was, in the realm of GameFi, is it more important to be strong on game first or fi? So I'm curious what everybody's take is. Who's for game, team game? Any takers for this position?
I can do that.
Let's
Following on the topic that we have just now, especially from Nifty Island friend here is so on one hand, there are the way of GameFi or the Fi part is usually used to attract users, let's say, right? And that is we have already mentioned that it can be proven, right? It's already proven. But the game side, if we start from the game side and to try to get the Fi, so far I'm not sure if I have seen anything yet. Maybe off the grid will be able to do that in the future, but I'm not sure. Like right now, it's more because it's purely on the graphics and the gameplay. But are these people coming for staying in the game for the Fi side? Like Fi side, I'm not saying that it has to be play to earn. The Fi side could be about trading of the NFTs or crafting or making assets inside the game that you can actually trade in the future and things like that. And I think so I would say that if we look at it this way, then probably Fi it's not what is more important is Fi might be the Fi and casual or something more simple as to onboard the users. But while the players play into the game, they can see that there are many layers and the game is actually very rich and the gameplay is also very good. And at the same time, they can trade, NFTs or trade whatever assets they can make on the chain, right? So that would be seems to be the most ideal case to me, and I think this is also one of the things that we are also like trying to pursue, and that can be done like via different kind of platforms, right? So maybe there's a game that you can have the kind of the mini game or the users acquisition on the Telegram or the Tone. But then while you're doing that, you can actually go into a bit more complicated, a bit more rich game, like richness, like game that you can actually play for a very long time. So one way to do it maybe is cross-platform, and yeah, so that's my 2 cents here. Yeah, of course, this is something that we are also pursuing as well. Right?
Nice. I mean, this is also me having a huge gamer brother and being a very casual gamer myself as well. Like what Web3 or GameFi has done was to open my eyes to financial utility, right? Because in Web2, it was mainly about the game first and foremost, right? And this is probably where I had assumed most founders or companies have poured their love into shaping that first. And it sometimes makes me feel if like, oh, Fi is a necessary evil, right? So maybe over to Ganesh, what do you think?
If I have to take a side, I am definitely team game to start with. but I believe most successful projects they strike a balance between really good gameplay and thoughtful financial incentives. Starting off a project leaning heavily on the Fi side would not be ideal. If you are in this industry for long term, then focusing on game would be ideal. Because if a game is not fun, it won't retain players. You may get the initial scale because of the financial aspects of it, but that's not why the investors back you, right? That's not why the teams want to work with you. They want products which has long-term sustainability and retention. Irrespective of how strong the financial element is, I think the game has to be good. It may not be required in the current market scenario. There could be projects which may do well without a strong game as well. But as the industry evolves, as we get more broader audience into Web3, it'll start becoming important. And our thesis also has been to consider the financial aspects more as a meta on the existing game. If your foundation for the game is right, and if there is an exciting financial element to it, you can cater to a broader audience in comparison to either just focusing just on game or on the financial aspect. That would be my take on this.
Nice. Thank you, Ganesh. And maybe looking over to Kinsa, what's your take?
Yeah, I think Ganesh hit on pretty important points there that I agree with. I think game side, of course, fun game is always great. It's very important. Financial side, that said, can be extremely powerful in user engagement and network effects. But that said, if I had to pick one, I'll probably pick game. In the end, game is what makes users fall in love with the gameplay mechanisms, bringing their friends in, etc. In terms of reality, yeah, I think as Ganesh said, it's really a matter of like fine balance between game and Fi. Projects that rely too heavily on Fi, it's oftentimes not sustainable. And so how do you create a sustainable game ecosystem, right? There needs to be bigger inflow of capital than outflow of capital. Step-in was a very successful game in the beginning, but there was a lot more outflow of capital versus inflow of capital. So how do you balance that? I think is reducing, the outflow of capital through sustainable tokenomics and game economics. But inflow of capital, I think, can be achieved by the game being good, game being fun, having a game being emotionally connecting to its audience. So that part, I think, can create a higher inflow of capital. That's where I think the game part is really important and can come into play here.
Hear you on that one. And over to maybe Charles, what's your hot take on this one?
Yeah, I think, yeah. So there's a lot to agree with that's been said. Like Kinsa said, it's like too much Fi, people don't stick around, and too much game, and not enough Fi, and it might be undifferentiated. It might be really hard to compete with traditional titles if you don't have some kind of edge. Like if we're all doing crypto, if your company's a Web3 gaming company, the Fi element's probably the way you can differentiate yourself against traditional publishers. So I think to me, I'm most interested right now in new types of Fi. I think we've seen some things like games with NFTs attached where the NFTs are usable in game and you can trade them. We've seen play to earn mechanisms, but I think there's more that can be done there, creating interesting markets that make games more fun, make predicting what happens in game interesting, allow users to coordinate or kind of invest in each other's behavior in more interesting ways. Like I think we need more innovation on the Fi side because that's what will allow us to unlock new commercial models, new experiences for users where they come to a Web3 game and they think, oh, I can't get this anywhere else. I have to get it here. I can't play Fortnite. I have to play I have to play Super Champs, I have to play Nifty Island, or Elfin or whatever it is, right? It has to be that we find a way to offer something where you can't get it anywhere else. You have to come to Web3 gaming to get it. And that's probably in the Fi category. Not that you don't need a game, but the Fi is probably what will make it something really unique.
Oh, very interesting take. Fair point. And last but not least, Nick, I'm curious to know your thoughts.
I'm not purposely to against everyone, but I'm like a team five. Why? I used to be like a team game. I was hovering in between game and finance. These two things. Maybe I share a little bit, a quick one. Previously, I have like a long hours, conversation discussions with my friends, a really good friend of mine. We're talking about if I'm building a game in Web3, but I'm not giving you any rewards, are you gonna play it? No. Okay, if I'm building a really good rewards finance game, but the games are okay, it's not bad, are you gonna play? Yes. In summarize that, everyone here or everyone's gamers in the space, in Web3 space, we are here for, to earn something, to get rewards. Let's say I'm putting like $10 in your project, investing, like how much like returns I can get from you. So this is like a element, is very essential. I did ask a lot of people. Somehow we are leading to the same outcome, which is, rewards. We want to earn something from the projects. And of course, generating a lot of points or generating a lot of tokens out might have like issues to the projects. It's like what Kinsa say. It's not healthy, and we have to make something to build around the project, make it healthy, makes the tokenomics more utility, and has some deflationary kind of like effects into it. I believe it works, and that's I think that's the foundations to get someone to onboard, especially Web3 users. And of course, if we are standing in the aspect of the Web2 users, definitely game. They don't have the ideas of earning while playing games. You see, I try to invite my very close friend of mine in real life. They are all Web2 users, and then until I introduce them, you play my games, you can actually get some rewards or points, and then they surprise. It works that way. So to me, like the most important aspect today is to understand what's our target audience or the players and their needs. So yeah, I'm team 5.
And I appreciate and I'm enjoying really the diversity, because I think what we are showcasing to the community, that everyone at large, is that what I'm hearing is that you really need both. It's inevitable. And the great news is that over at Crypto Arcade GameFi season, you will get both. As you can hear from the very passionate people here with us today, many of the games are definitely very much curated and crafted. And we have also really carefully designed, rewards for you guys, right, on every step, right? So we're going to dive into a little bit into the campaign overviews later. But I totally appreciate just the amount of like crafting that we have to design, right? There's so many different users that we can actually onboard, and to craft one offering that has to really relate to so many different genres of users, players, right? I think that's really what I really appreciate. Okay, and thank you for satisfying everybody's curiosity, guys. I love that we have two different teams, right, on to our debate question here. And I'm just looking a little bit at the chat. I think we have some questions for the different guests on the live stream. So maybe from Ashiga, right? So to Sonic and Xterio, how are Sonic and Xterio addressing the issue of scalability to accommodate a large number of players and transactions? Very technical question, but yes.
I can take it first. I think at the end of the day, because nowadays the technology is like very good now, in terms of, because we are layer two at the end of the day, so a lot of the problems can be solved within the layer two part. And then of course it will be back to the settlement in the layer one, which have better security, better certification, I would say. And so and 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 another point I want to make is actually, a lot of the things can be made in the design of the game rather than just on the TPS, or the chain part, because what needs to be certified or what needs to be put on chain, and how and when and how often and frequent, is also something that we can also work around if like we have like way too much users that will need to have transaction numbers. But otherwise, I don't really see that is like a big problem right now. And another viewpoint I want to make is that uh, at the end of the day is you could actually have like two chains to do it if you have a problem, like two layer twos to do it. But I think that is like the last resort to do it, right?
Got it. And Lisa, do you want to take the question for Sonic?
Yeah, I think for us, there are, for projects building on Sonic, I actually think it's a mixture of, business reasons as well as technical reasons. Solana themselves have reduced a lot of their gaming support and gaming go-to-market support. So we've kind of been playing that role within the Solana ecosystem as the gaming hub. We give grants, we give go-to-market support, we're playing kind of the role of a game publisher. So there's like the business reasons why games might launch on us, but for technical reasons, for games to launch on us, I'm not the CTO, he can go into depth, but I think big part of it is the fees. Of course, we have lower transaction fees. Right now, the fees on Solana is spiking with the more demand for on-chain transaction block space coming in. The fees are going higher, so it's comparatively very, very low compared to Ethereum. That said, Solana also has something called rent fees, which is for having assets on the blockchain. You need to pay rent fees for a set amount of time. So games that have a lot of assets and NFTs on chain, they're going to have to pay a lot more rent fees as the number of user increases. So you can lower this fee as well using Sonic blockchain. And I think when it comes to actual active working games, one big differentiator versus Solana is kind of the removing MEV or no competition for game block space inclusion. So this means that when it comes to DeFi, MEV can make sense. People fight for getting the priority transaction, for getting their trades in within AMMs, for arbitrage opportunities, etc. But when it comes to in-game environments, you don't necessarily want to compete, or you don't want your gameplay being obstructed because you didn't pay high enough fees. Someone else pay a higher, transaction fee and front ran your game move, for example. You don't want that type of external circumstances affecting in-game circumstances. So that is one special, I'd say, uniqueness that we provide for game builders and game users within Sonic Solana SVM, custom SVM.
Awesome. Thank you. And maybe one last question from 213. What makes Elfin Esports Tournament unique in the gaming space?
It's very straightforward. Everybody's are doing the tournaments, and what makes us stand out, we actually pampering our gamers or users quite a lot. And for example, we have one tapping game which is called Bonk Spaceships. We collaborate with Bonk. It's like a tapping games, and later on we changed the tapping game into like a PvP. So give you guys like context. So for this single tournament, we're giving out more than 30,000 USD worth of the tokens. This is only one single game, and we have 12 games in our platform right now. And we'll keep doing that way because this is what marketing is, and this is what the user wants. We always need to, find their needs and try to build together with them. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And with that, I think I'm going to give the speakers a little short break. And I guess everybody is really riled up. I'm very excited for GameFi's season. So I'm going to do a quick sharing just in case anyone wants to know how to actually access it. Right. So just come to bybit.com/web3, right? So you can toggle over here. This is our main homepage. Click over to Web3, and you can actually see here, this is our largest GameFi arcade. So over here, as you can see, there's a ranking, a leaderboard, but all the different GameFi dApps that you've seen here, just connect your Web3 wallet and you can get playing and get earning. Okay, in short, right on time, I just want to take a quick shout out to all the guests over here. This has been a very insightful and juicy conversation for me, I'm sure for the audience as well. Best of luck to the championship going on at the Crypto Arcade, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Mick.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Nice.